pulutong ng ating Panginoon. Okay po? So this is a very, I don't know if we can finish it tonight, as I will be dealing with um, three charts, mga kapatid. And I don't know if we are able to finish it tonight, but I'm hoping that you will be joining us next Monday. If hindi po ako kung hindi ko po matatapos yung pong study tonight. Okay po? So, we are very much familiar with the chart of Revelation chapter 12. We are pretty much familiar with this one, mga kapatid, no? Familiar sa atin, ito pong woman na meron pong pakpak o binigyan po ng pakpak sa Revelation chapter 12 verse 14. Binigyan po siya ng pakpak, mga kapatid, para pumunta doon po sa wilderness. Okay? And at doon sa wilderness ay ipipreserve siya, or siya po ay nourished. Okay? So siya po ay nourished. And we know that the wings represents period of time, meaning the two wings given to the woman is a representation of her existence. So yun pong two wings ay kumakatawan sa pag-exist nito pong babaeng ito from Eden. So kung nakikita po ninyo po yung sa may kabilang gilid, yung pong gabi, yung nighttime, yung dark part, nakalagay po dyan the Garden of Eden. And then, it will end also to the holy city, mga kapatid. Now, this is a very interesting study, mga kapatid, because we will be dealing with the Church of God in each generation. Is it not really interesting, mga kapatid, knowing the period of this woman in different state, mga kapatid? So I just hope and pray na ang mga bagay na ito ay magdadagdag sa atin ng kasiguruhan at katiyakan that the Lord is going to bring us back to Eden, mga kapatid. He will bring us back to Eden. Okay? Now, the most common passage, mga kapatid, na lagi po nating tatandaan is the one in Genesis chapter 3, verse 15. Okay? This is the most common, mga kapatid, and the beginning of the war between the dragon and the woman. Okay? After sin came in Eden, mga kapatid, after na yun pong kasalanan ay napunta po sa Eden at nagkasala si Adan at saka si Eva, ay dito po nagsimula ang tunggalian ng babae at ng kaaway. Okay? The church and the dragon. This is the starting point, mga kapatid. And this prophecy of Genesis 3:15, mga kapatid, ang prophecy ng Genesis 3:15 ay siyang hudyat. This is after the fall, mga kapatid, of Adam and Eve. This is the beginning of the war between the woman and the dragon. So remember, Revelation 12 is entitled The Church and the Dragon. Okay? Yan po yung title ng study ng Revelation 12, mga kapatid. The Church and the Dragon. So ito po yung paglalaban ng dragon at saka ng Iglesia ng Panginoon. Now, let us read. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, the head of the dragon or the serpent, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Okay? So, um, nakita po natin na yun pong dalawang one sister cannot join. Somebody's typing who is not here. And she might say she cannot join. She might say she cannot join. Let's see. Wait lang po Hmm.
May Jiraya po ba, Brantera?
As I expected. As I expected, I can join. Let me try to open it, bro. Let me try. Okay. Join there, brother Nesty. Wait, I'm going to call you, okay? Jiraya.
Okay, bro. Okay.
Okay. Okay, sister, so yung isa umalis, kaya nakapasok yung isang kapatid. Okay. Why you cannot allow? Okay. And then, wait lang po Nesty. Wait lang po. Nesty. Nesty. There you go. And start call. Okay. Okay. Hello, Brother Nesty?
Yes, bro.
Okay. So yung check mo lang kung mayroong gusto pang mag-join. Pag mayroong pa napansin ka mayroong mag-join, please add them here. Nakapasok na si Sister Jen sa kabila. Okay?
Okay.
So you will be alone here for now. Okay. So let's continue. So nakita po natin mga kapatid, again, remember that our study or the duration of our study is from Eden to Eden. And this is a long study mga kapatid. But we will try to make it short as much as I could. And again, dun po sa mga kapatid na wala kanina, kung hindi ko po ito matatapos tonight, mga kapatid, I will be finishing it this coming Monday. Okay? So that is a promise to the brethren. Okay? Now, let us continue. Sangayon po dun sa ating pong chart. Okay? Sangayon po sa ating chart, yun pong wings is a representation of the woman from Eden, yun pong two wings niya from Eden to Eden. Okay? So from the Garden of Eden to the Holy City. Now, Genesis 3:15 is the beginning of the enmity between Satan and the woman. Between the seed of the woman or Satan and between the seed of the woman. Mamaya or sa susunod, pag-uusapan natin who represents the seed. Okay? So, pag-uusapan po natin, sino ba yung seed, Brother Terra? Okay? So, we will be dealing with those things as we continue in this study. Okay? Now, I will be giving you a very interesting so, let us set aside yun pong chart, mga kapatid, and let us consider Genesis 3:15 as the beginning of our study. Again, the beginning of our study is Genesis 3:15, showing that Eve is the church or representation of the church during that period. Okay? So, Eve, her, yung kalaban ng dragon in Genesis 3:15 is a representation of Eve. Okay? Now, let me post This one. Oh, sorry. How to share it? How to share it? Forward. And there you go. Okay. So, dun po sa nakakita po ng chart natin, mga kapatid. Please make sure we are looking at it in a right way. Okay po? Tingnan po natin ito sa tamang pagtingin. Okay po? Kasi kapag kamalito po tayo, mawawala po yung ating focus doon po sa atin pong pinag-uusapan. Okay. So ang first period, mga kapatid, is Eve. Brother Nesty, I need your help. Please encircle Nesty. Sorry. encircle Eve. Sorry, Brother Nesty. Encircle Eve, if you can see it.
Okay, bro.
Thank you so much. And resend it. Eve and Melchizedek. Okay? So, kung nakikita nyo po yung Eve and Melchizedek, doon po sa atin pong chart, mga kapatid, if you can see it, yan po yung period from Eden, mga kapatid, from Eden to Exodus. Sorry? From Eden to Exodus. Okay? So again, that period of Eve is from, okay? The period of Eve and Melchizedek is from Eve, mga kapatid, the fall of Eve, up to hanggang doon po, mga kapatid, sa Exodus. Okay? O yung first Exodus. Okay? So, I just hope and pray na nauunawaan po natin, mga kapatid. Ito pong atin pong Eve period. Okay? That is the representation of the woman. So nakita po natin, pakibilugan mo, Brother Nesty, yun pong tawag dito, yung babae na may pakpak, yung nakalagay na the church without the Bible. The church without the Bible. Gusto ko pong bilugan mo yon. The church without the Bible. Meron doon sa chart na babae na may wings. Pakibilugan mo yung the church without the Bible. There you go. So kung nakita nyo po yan, mga kapatid, pareho yan. Okay? So pareho, yun pong nariyan na nakikita po ninyo. Teka lang po, nangangali po ako. Ha? Share. Yeah. Wait lang po, Okay. Oops. Really sorry for the commercial advertisement. Okay. So, sana po ay clear ako sa mga kapatid, no? Okay, so looking at the charts, mga kapatid, as I mentioned, we will be dealing 3 charts. And I wanted to make sure na naintindihan po ng mga kapatid yun pong ating pong pinag-uusapan. Please check our charts. Okay po yung nakikinig ngayon, para hindi po kayo malito, please check our charts. The chart is going to give us a better view or a better understanding of what Brother Terra is talking about. Okay po? Now, Eve and Melchizedek is from the fall of Eve. That is the beginning of the war, mga kapatid. From the fall of Eve up to the Exodus or the first Exodus. Yan po yung duration ng babae niyan. Okay po? That is the woman of this, mga kapatid, Revelation 12. So during that time, this woman represent Eve. Okay? This woman represent Eve. Not the sinner member of Eve, but the saint member of Eve. Again, point this one to note. The woman, yung babae, na atin po pinag-uusapan sa Revelation 12, always represents God's faithful ones. Again, uulitin ko po, para hindi po tayo malito, ito pong woman na ito, this woman, is the part of the church na faithful. Okay? So, hindi po siya yung babae na unfaithful. Hindi po bahagi ng church na ito yun pong unfaithful. Ito pong babaeng ito ay laging faithful. This woman is a representation of the members of Eve, mga kapatid, the members of Eve that are faithful. So from Eden, mga kapatid, hanggang sa panahon ng Exodus movement, every saint na lumabas dyan in between that period ay representation ng woman na ito. So who are the saints in the said tawag po rito, period? And all, not just the saints but also the martyrs. Now let us go back to our chart. Brother Nesty, pakibilugan mo yung the Noahic period. Paki-check mo yung Noahic period. Okay, paki-check yung Noahic period and pakibilugan yung Abel and Seth.
Okay.
Thank you so much. So, tingnan nyo rin po mga kapatid, yun pong mga sign, okay? Meron po diyang black star, cross, at saka yun pong white star. The black star represents sinners. Okay? The black star represents sinners. The cross represents martyrs. And the white star represents saints. Okay? So, kung nakikita nyo po yung binilugan ni Brother Nesty, yan po yung saints, sinners, and martyr during, mga kapatid. This is very interesting. The beginning of the war. Okay, I think some of the brethren cannot join. So let us wait. Let's wait. Okay. Are some brethren having a hard time joining? Okay. Please inform Brother Seth. Sorry, Brother Nesty. At Nesty. Okay. So I just wanted to make sure na lahat ng mga kapatid ay makaka-join. At hindi po nila ma-miss. Okay. So, nakita po natin mga kapatid na si Cain, si Abel, at saka si Seth, sila po yung ating susundan. Okay? Sila po yung tatlong bahagi ng isang iglesia ng Panginoon. So, from that time, from Eve period, meron pong wheat and tares. Okay? So, from that period, after the fall of Eve, mga kapatid, after the fall of Adam and Eve, nagkaroon na po tayo ng wheat and tares period. Okay? Yes, white star represents the saints. Okay? So nakita niyo po yung nandoon sa chart. Yun po yung akin pong binabanggit. Black star, sinner, cross, martyrs, white, saints. Now, so nakita po natin na ang representation ng church ng Panginoon is actually Eve and her sons. Noah, during the Noahic period, Noah and his sons. That is the representation of the church, mga kapatid. Okay? So the representation of the church during that period are the faithful ones. So the Revelation 12 woman is represented by the saints from Seth, from Abel, Seth, and those who are faithful during that time. So that is Noah is part of it. Enoch is part of it. Mga kapatid, Enoch is part of it. Bago tayo pumasok dun sa sunod na period, dahil we will be heading to the next period in a short while. So that is the Noahic period, mga kapatid. Okay? So, pagpasok po ng patriarchal period, so makikita na po natin dyan, yun pong patriarchal period. Brother Nesty, please encircle patriarchal period. Dapat wag mong isama yun pong Cain and Abel. Okay? So, dun po tayo sa patriarchs. Okay? That is still under Eve and Melchizedek period. Okay? So, again, bahagi pa rin itong next na point na akin pong gagamitin. Saan? Kay Eve and Melchizedek period. Okay? So, this is the representation of the church, mga kapatid. Okay? Now, who represents the church? Okay? During this period. Okay? So, the church here is now, we have Ishmael, Isaac, Esau, Jacob, Israel. These are, sino po ito? Yan po yung tinatawag natin na patriarchal period. But still, under the period of Eve. That is from Eden down to Exodus movement. I hope that one is clear to us, mga kapatid, ha? Para lang po makita po natin ang mga pangyayari. Okay? So that period, mga kapatid, is the period of Eve and Melchizedek. So the Edenic period, the Noahic period, and then the pati si Enoch kasama po diyan. And then we have the patriarchal period. Okay? So nakita po ninyo mga kapatid, ha? So una, Edenic, pagkatapos ng Edenic, Noahic, pagkatapos ng Noahic, patriarchal. When you say patriarchs, mga kapatid, ayun po yung period nila Israel, Jacob, 12 sons, Esau, Isaac, and Ishmael. So ito po yung kanilang mga representation. Okay? So yun po yung, dun po sila bahagi, mga kapatid, sa Eve, Melchizedek period. So si Eve bilang the representation of the church during that period, and Melchizedek bilang high priest on that period. Okay? So yun po yung Melchizedek. Okay, now, we will be heading to a very interesting thought, mga kapatid. Okay? And I don't know if, may I know kung sino po mga kapatid ang narito na nakakaalam po nitong study na ito, or narinig po itong study na ito, mga kapatid. I don't know if na-share ko po ito bago po dumating sila Tatay William, bago pa dumating sila Sister Marie, Brother Ian, Brother Miguel, at yung iba pa po. I don't know kung meron pong nauna pa sa inyo na nandito ngayon na nakarinig po nitong study na ito. I gave this study one time, kung hindi po ako nagkakamali, 2 years ago. So meron pong nakaalala mga kapatid na narito ngayon. I know Brother James is not here during that time. Okay, if none.
Blood Terra, hindi ako nagkakamali, ano? Hello?
Yes po, Tay.
Confirm ko lang, ano? Kasi para lang, pero matagal na yun, eh. Yun yung mga early studies, ano? Kung saan itong mga period na to, ang iglesia, na maski nagsimula pa man sa panahon ni Eva, tama ba?
Yes po.
Until such time, may babanggitin ka pang mga ibang woman, di ba?
True. That is correct. That is correct.
Lang.
Amen. Thank you so much, Tatay William. So, it's quite some time nung akin pong shinare ito. And actually, I was restudying it this afternoon kasi meron po akong mga passages na nakalimutan at hindi ko mahanap. And I will be dealing with the names now in the patriarchal period. Okay? So, sa patriarchal period, we have Abraham. So, hindi po nakasulat dyan. We have Abraham, Ishmael, Isaac, Esau, Jacob, tapos yung Israel. Mamaya, ialamin natin yung pagkasunod-sunod nila. But now, mga kapatid, I wanted to make sure that we will be understanding the next. Okay. There you go. Oh, Brother Nestle, please add Brother Jeremy.
Yes, bro.
Thank you so much, bro. Mhm. Okay. So much. Okay, Brother Jeremy, are you there?
Yes, bro. Yes.
Okay, amen. So, okay. Now, so, nakita na po natin mga kapatid, yun pong Eve period. So again, the Eve period is from Eden or her fall up to first Exodus or yung sa panahon ni Moses, mga kapatid. That is the first period. Okay? Now, but in that period, in the Eve period, iba-iba po yung church ng Panginoon. Meaning, nagpa-progress po yung church. So, una, kay Abel, pagkatapos napunta kay Seth, pagkatapos kay Seth, napunta kay Enoch, tapos Noah, pagkatapos kay Noah, napunta kay some of them, Methuselah, sila po yung mga magkakasama. Pagkatapos, sa mga anak ni, isa sa mga anak ni Noah, pagkatapos napunta sa kay Abraham, mga kapatid, pagkatapos kay Abraham napunta sa kay Isaac, pagkatapos kay Isaac napunta kay Jacob. Okay? So ito po yung pagkasunod-sunod, mga kapatid, ng woman ng during patriarchal period. Okay? So sa patriarchal period, nagsasalin-salin po yun pong tinatawag na Church of God. Okay? So I just hope and pray we are clear to that. So pag sinabi nating Eve period, that doesn't mean Eve is the representation of the whole thing. But that is just the period of Eve. Okay? Pero yung church po niya, or yun pong humawak doon po sa truth, mga kapatid, ay ipinapasa from one generation to another. From one man to another. From one movement to another, mga kapatid. And I just hope and pray na naintindihan po natin yun pong pinagsasabi ni Brother Tera. Okay? Now, let us go with the Noatic period. Sorry, we are done with it. The Noatic period is part of Eve period. And we have now the period of patriarchal, which includes Abraham. Now, let us go with the other chart, mga kapatid, para sabay nating matatapos sila if ever. Sabay natin silang matatapos if ever. Nasaan na yung chart natin? Sorry. Okay. The other chart. Where are you? Where is the other chart? Okay, there you go. Okay. So, gusto ko pong tingnan po natin mga kapatid. Yun pong binabanggit ko ay makikita rin po natin dito sa chart na ito. Okay? Kung mapapansin po ninyo, yun pong yellow and blue. Sorry. Melchizedek, King of Salem. So nakita nyo po yung period na yon? Okay, pakilagyan, brothers Nesty, ng guhit yung dark yung yellow line. Kuhanan mo lang yung guhitan mo lang yung yellow line para maintindihan ng mga kapatid. Thank you so much. Okay? So kung nakikita niyo po yung yellow line, pareho lang po 'yan ang ipinapakita doon po sa Eve period. Okay? Yan po yung Eve period. So mahahati lang po sa tatlo, mga kapatid, yun pong ating period. Okay? Not 4, not 5. Apat lang. Kaya lang, sa loob ng period na ito, sa loob ng mga babaeng ito, ay magkakaroon po ng iba't ibang transition sa iglesia ng Panginoon, mga kapatid. Okay? Now, I will be heading to a very interesting point. Okay? I will be heading to a very interesting point. Are you wondering why? Again mga kapatid ito pong next na sasabihin ko is interesting one. Okay? This is an interesting one. Okay. The names. Mga kapatid, pakilagyan mo ng yung name brother tawag po rito. Brother Nesty. Pakilagyan mo, pakibilugan mo yung 1, 2, 3. Abraham, Sarah, and Hagar. Abraham, Sarah, and Hagar. So, pakibilugan mo yon, yung Abraham, Sarah, and Hagar dito sa chart na huling chart natin. Mga kapatid, please, pakitingnan nyo po yung chart, mga kapatid. Okay? Please check the chart na si-send ni Brother Nesty. Okay. Nakita po ninyo yung binilugan ni Brother Nesty. May nakalagay 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, 1, 2, 3 lang pala. At yung pahalang naman ay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is the number of the name ni Abraham. Abraham's name has 7 letters. Brother Tera, may kinalaman ba yung 7 letters na pangalan ni Abraham? Mga kapatid? So, yan po yung atin pong hihimayin ngayon. And gusto ko rin bilugan mo, ibang kulay, Brother Nesty. Isama mo yung chart na yan. Okay, yung chart na yan, pakilagay mo dyan. Sorry, Brother Nesty. I think yung chart na yan ay putol. Hindi makita yung sa bandang ibabaw. Wait lang. Hindi makita yung sa bandang ibabaw. Okay, paste. Putol yan dyan banda sa, kasi mayroon sulat dyan sa ibabaw. Hindi nakita sa chart. Pakibilugan mo yung, pakibilugan mo, Brother Nesty, yung 1, 2, 3 kay Abraham, at saka yung 1, 2, 3 kay Ishmael. So, sa may bandang baba yung Ishmael. So, because I will be reading the Shepherd's Rod now. Bakit nilagyan ng 1, 2, 3 at bakit nilagyan ng 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Okay? So, I will be reading the Shepherd's Rod now. Okay. Okay. Sabi po rito, note that there are 3 main sections in the summary chart, namely. So ito po yung summary chart. Kung nakita po ninyo yung chart nating binigay kanina, yung Eve, Melchizedek, Hagar, Aaron, and Sarah, Christ, mga kapatid, yan po yung 3 periods or 3 sections na tinutukoy. We will be dealing with all the sections, mga kapatid, in a short while. But I will be reading the 3 sections. Ano po yung 3 sections? That is from Melchizedek, the priest of the Most High God, and that next is Hagar, and next is Sarah. Tapos, point number 1, si Melchizedek ay siyang pari. Tapos, ang pari naman sa panahon ni Hagar ay ang Levitical priesthood or si Aaron, from Aaron. Pagkatapos, third, the priesthood after the order of Melchizedek, which is Jesus Christ. So, kung titinan, Brother Nesty, pakipost mo itong next, yung chart na merong Eve, Melchizedek, Hagar, Aaron, at saka yung Sarah, Christ. Pakibilugan mo yung tatlong yon para maintindihan ng mga kapatid kung ano yung binabasa ko.
Ano pala yun, bro? Paulit.
Okay, pakibilugan mo itong chart na ito. Okay. Para makita natin yung 3 sections. Okay? Hinahati natin sa 3 bahagi ang iglesia o history ng iglesia ng Panginoon. So nakita mo yung Eve, Melchizedek, tapos yung Hagar, Aaron, at saka yung Christ, Sarah and Christ. Pakibilugan mo yung 3. Tapos dun sa chart na okay, tapos dun sa chart naman na maraming kulay, yung yellow, blue, at saka green, meron sa ibabaw niyan 1, 2, 3. May linya na 1, 2, 3 sa ibabaw nun. Pakibilugan mo yung 1, 2, 3, pareho din yan. Okay, there you go. Thank you so much. So kung nakikita po ninyo yan, yan po yung binabasa ni Brother Terra doon po sa 1SR. Okay? So therefore, one priesthood links with another. So isang priesthood from one link to another. So from Eve and Melchizedek to Agar and Aaron, tapos Sarah and Christ. Okay? In each division, we have 3 subsections. So meron tayong tatlong bahagi din. Okay? Again, count all the sections in both before and after the cross, including the plagues. And we have the number 7, meaning the end of the world. So ngayon, tingnan natin yung number 7, which brings us to the end of the world. That is the meaning of 7. Now, the next passage that I will be reading, mga kapatid, is a very interesting point. Okay? There you go. Sabi po rito, the next passage will be interesting. Permit us to call your attention this third time to types. So, tingnan po natin, ito pong nasa types. Okay? Kung nakikita po ninyo yung types na sa chart, nakita po ninyo yung types. Nandyan po si Ishmael, si Isaac, si Esau, at si Jacob, at saka yun pong si Abraham. So, bakit? Sabi po rito. Point number 1. The parent types, namely Abraham, that is the father. Si Hagar and Sarah, the mothers, making the number 3. Okay? So nakita ninyo yung number 3, tatlo yung bahagi. Okay? Tatlong tao. Isang ama, dalawang ina, yan po ay tatlong bahagi. So sabi po rito, point number 2, the children, Ishmael, Isaac, and Jacob, making the number 3. So, tatlo pa rin. So, laging may tatlo. So, alam na natin kung bakit tatlo-tatlo, mga kapatid. This is what we call trion. Tatlong bahagi. Tatlo-tatlo lagi. Now, sunod, Jacob's name changed to Israel. So, yung pangalan ni Jacob ay pinalitan from Jacob to Israel. Hagar and Ishmael sent away again, making the number 3. So nung pinaalis si Hagar at saka si Ishmael, si Jacob at saka yung kanyang nanay, tatlo na naman sila. Now, there is a fourth line of figures to call your attention. Merong ika-4 na linya tayong makikita po diyan. The name Abraham contains 7. So kung napansin po ninyo dun sa isang chart, yun pong maraming kulay na chart, yun pong pangalan ni Abraham ay naging 7 piraso, 7 letters. So bakit kaya? Meaning, complete. Or a father for the entire future history of the church. So bakit pala 7? Yung pangalan ng Abraham, mga kapatid, bakit 7? Kasi ang pangalan niyang una is Abram, which is A-B-R-A-M. Okay? So, ang meron lang sila, kumbaga, 5 lang dapat. Pero pinalitan yung kanyang pangalan. Ang pagpalit ng kanyang pangalan ay Abraham. Nadagdagan po ng H and A. So sabi po rito, ibig sabihin ng Abraham is siya po yung representation, again, siya po yung representation from his time up to the completion, mga kapatid, up to the finishing history of the church. Yan po yung Abraham. Now, ang kanyang unang anak naman na si Ishmael ay 7 rin. Sabi rito, Ishmael also has 7 letters. Finished or ended, meaning he is through, there are none of his descendants to succeed. So kung naalala po natin what happened to Ishmael, Ishmael was thrown away. Okay? Or sent away. He was sent away, so is the descendants of Ishmael. Ibig sabihin, the unfaithful, mga kapatid, will be taken out, will be finished, mga kapatid. That is the meaning of their names. Bakit kailangan ng 7 pangalan si Abraham? Bakit kailangan pang palitan from Abram to Abraham? To represent God's church, mga kapatid, and its completion, and to represent the sinner's end through Ishmael. Okay, so that is the name, mga kapatid. And tingnan po ninyo yung guhit sa may bandang baba, in pink, Brother Nesty, merong 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 doon sa bandang baba. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sa bandang baba. Hanggang sa plagues. Kung makikita mo yung pink, in pink. One great line in pink. So, yan po yung number 7. Okay? So, this will be very interesting, mga kapatid. That God's church is actually accomplished or will actually accomplish, mga kapatid. Ayun, binilangan ni Brother Nesty. Okay? Binilugan ni Brother Nesty. Okay? So, let us continue. Okay? That is a very interesting thought. Now, the next passage will be more interesting. The names of Hagar, Y5. Hagar and Sarah, Y5, mga kapatid. Now look, what the inspiration mentioned, or say, Abraham's name, at the time he was called out of Ur, before God added the 2 extra letters, H and A, spelled with 5 letters. So, ito ko yung binabanggit ko kanina. Kung naalala natin, bago po siya tawagin ng Panginoon, ang kanyang pangalan ay Abram. Okay? Pagkatapos, dinagdagan po ng 2 yung kanyang pangalan, which is H and A, kaya nabuong Abraham. Now, his son, Isaac, and his wives all have the same number of letters in their names. Lahat po sila, mga kapatid. Lahat po. Simula sa kanyang asawa hanggang sa kanyang mga anak, mga kapatid, ay 5 lang ang nasa kanilang pangalan. Bakit? Kaya ginawa ito ng Panginoon. Bakit ginawa ng Panginoon? Let's continue reading. Naturally, the question arises. So bigla tayong magtataka. Bakit si Abraham ay 5 yung kanyang pangalan? Bakit ginawang 8? 5 yung letra ng kanyang pangalan. Bakit ginawang 8? Ginawang 7, sorry. At bakit hindi binago or hindi pinalitan or hindi hindi dinagdagan ang pangalan ng kanyang mga anak? So let's read, mga kapatid. Sang-ayon po dito. Naturally, the question arises, why 5? Why not 3 or 7? Had their names more or less than 5 letters, the picture would have been spoiled. So kung babaguhin ng Panginoon yan, at gagawing 7 o kaya 3, mga kapatid, masisira yun pong picture na ipinapakita ng Panginoon. Why? Because the 7 letters of Abraham and the 5 of Hagar make 12 in all, a symbol of the 12 tribes of Israel after the flesh. So ang ibig sabihin pala ng Hagar at saka ng Abraham, pagsamahin ninyo yan po ay period ng 12 tribes, which is anak ni Israel. Okay? Sarah and Abraham naman, mga kapatid, ay 12 din. So Sarah, 5 letters, and then Abraham, 7 letters, magkakaroon tayo ng 12 in all. Meaning, the 12 tribes of Israel after the Spirit. Ang meaning naman ng noong 12, mga kapatid, kay Sarah at saka kay Abraham, mamaya pupunta tayo doon sa period ni Sarah at sa period ni Hagar. Wala pa tayo sa period ni Hagar at saka period ni Sarah. Tayo ay nandun pa lang sa patriarchal period under Edenic or under Eve period, mga kapatid. So nakita po natin that Sarah and Hagar, kung bakit 5 lang ang kanilang pangalan, is because Abraham has 7. Meaning, all letters having 12 is a representation of the 12 patriarchs and the 12 tribes after the flesh. Sorry, not 12 patriarchs. The 12 tribes of Israel after the flesh and the 12 tribes after the spirit. Spiritual Israel. Okay? So, wait lang. Lagay po ninyo Abraham, 7 plus Hagar, 5, 5 equals 12 tribes of Israel after the flesh. Okay? Now, this is very interesting. So, ito po yung pinapakita natin. Bakit? Sabi ko po na interesting po, mga kapatid, dito pong study na ito. Next. Okay. Okay. So minsan nakala lang po natin nakakalito, mga kapatid, yun pong nakakalito yun pong chart. But we just need someone to tawag ko dito, mag-present nito. And by the way, mga kapatid, this study I heard it pero hindi ko po naintindihan ito pong chart. Yan po yung katotohanan, mga kapatid. Okay? I was studying this for some time since I became a rad believer. Yet, mga kapatid, some of it I do not understand. Dahil nga po putol, nung po ako ay nasa kabilang banda pa, ay putol po yung pong study na ito. Okay? So, we will be dealing with those names as mentioned here. So, nakita po natin, Abraham plus Sarah equals 12 tribes of Israel after the Spirit. Okay? After the Spirit. Okay? But doble-doble po yung after ko. Sorry. Pakibago na lang po. Okay? Hindi po yan after the. Okay? Sorry. I'm really sorry. Okay? So I hope that one is clear to us. Binilugan ni Brother Nesty. Okay? Binilugan ni Brother Nesty yun pong so we have 3. So tatlo lang po, mga kapatid. Walang 4, walang 5. Okay? Walang 4, walang 5 na karakter sa bawat period. Tatlo lang. Okay? Now let us continue. Okay. Oh, some of the brethren are leaving. Okay. I don't know if they are leaving or they are having a hard time with their... Yes po. Yes po.
After the flesh or
After the... Yes, bro? "12 tribes after the flesh." Mamaya mas uunawain po natin yan. And yung isa, 12 tribes of Israel after the Spirit. Mamaya we will be having an understanding of this one.
Brother
Yes
Tira,
po. Brother
ano,
James?
ano nga ba yung meaning sa 5? Yung 7 ba church? Nag-represent sa church?
Mhm.
Ang 5, ano yung nag-represent sa
Ang
5?
ibig sabihin po ng 7 is completeness.
Kung,
7 is
pero na,
completeness.
di ba sabi mo
5 is the Bible. 5 is the
nag-represent
number
sa
of the
church?
Bible. No, ang 7
Ah,
po ay hindi po siya nag-represent sa church. Ang 7 po, number 7 is a representation of completeness, meaning completion, complete. Okay, number complete. Yun po yung ibig sabihin ng 7. While number 5 is the number of the Bible. So yun po yun. Okay, the number of the Bible and number 7 is completeness. Kaya po yung name of Abraham, kaya tayong lahat ng maliligtas, ang tawag po sa atin ay children of Abraham. Lahat po ng maliligtas, mga kapatid. Okay? So kahit na ikaw ay natatakan bilang Israelita, we are still children of Abraham. That is very interesting. Yes, number of the Bible po is number 5.
okay po. Salamat.
You're welcome. Literal letters po? Hindi po, sister. Hindi po. Hindi po literal, hindi po dahil sa Bible. Ang pag-usapan po natin yan next time kung bakit po tinawag. Actually, madali lang po yun eh. Yung first 5 books of the Bible, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Deuteronomy, and Numbers, yan po yung first 5 books of the Bible. Kaya yun pong tinawag po yan na Pentateuch. So yan po yung book of God. Okay, yung Pentateuch, 5 books of the Bible. So that's why the Bible is actually named or numbered 5. That is Pentateuch. Okay, sister Marie. I hope I get that. Get your the 5 books. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's continue. I just hope and pray that the brethren will find it interesting, mga kapatid. This when I was studying it, I find it really interesting. Okay, now let's go with the next passage. Tama ba? Tapos ko na ba yung passage na? Okay. So, let's continue reading. Yung pong huling passage na binasa ko. Naturally, the question arises, why 5? Why not 3 or 7? Had their names more or less than 5 letters, the picture would have been spoiled. Why? Because the 7 letters of Abraham and the 5 letters of Hagar make 12 in all, a symbol of the 12 tribes of Israel after the flesh, and Sarah and Abraham equals 12, meaning the 12 tribes of Israel after the Spirit. The same holds good with Isaac and Jacob. So nakita po ninyo, mga kapatid, Abraham plus Isaac equals 12. Abraham plus Jacob equals 12. Oops, wala pong naririnig. Walang naririnig. Wala daw pong naririnig sa kabila. Wait lang po. Oops. Oops, sorry. Oh, it was dropped. Wait lang po ah. The call was dropped.
Baka humina ang
Okay.
sa chat.
Okay na po? Dinig niyo na po ako, mga kapatid? Sorry. I don't know what happened. Na-drop yung call. I don't know what happened.
Humina
Okay.
siguro ang signal doon
Really
sa
sorry.
brother.
Hindi po, Nay. Nasa isang chat group po. Yung sa isang chat group. Okay. Okay. So nakita po ninyo na ganoon din po, mga kapatid. Ganon din po yung pong pangalan ni ganon din po yung pangalan ni Isaac. So Abraham plus Isaac. So nakita po ninyo Abraham plus Isaac, Abraham plus Jacob, pareho. Okay? Lahat po yun ay 12. 12 in all po yan. Meaning that is God's government. The number 12 is God's government. Okay po? So that is a very interesting thought from the pen of inspiration, mga kapatid. Okay. Mhm. Okay. Now, magtaka tayo, bakit yung Israel, mga kapatid, pangalan yon ni Jacob after niyang mapalitan yung kanyang pangalan from Jacob to Israel. Israel is spelled with 6 letters. Had this name been more or less, it would spoil the picture. So kung hindi ito 6, mga kapatid, at nung pinalitan ng pangalang Jacob at ginawa pa ring 5 or ginawang gagawing 7 at hindi ginawang 6, masisira na naman yung picture. Bakit? Sabi po dito, because the 6 letters indicate the 6th section. Okay? Now, Brother Nesty, paki-post mo yung pakibilugan mo yung number 6 nakalagay sa ibabaw harvest. Nakalagay sa ibabaw harvest. Sa chart na maraming kulay. May naka-on pong microphone. Thank you so much. Paki-check po.
Kasi naka-on pa rin ako.
Thank you so much. Okay. So please check. Sorry, Brother Nesty, pakibilugan yung number 6, Israel. Sa ilalim ng Israel, loud cry. Okay. Thank you so much. So nakita po ninyo yung number 6. So yung Israel, meaning it will be in the 6th section of this earth's history, mga kapatid. Because the last section will be the 7 plagues. Okay, so yun po yung last section. Now, but the 6th section though, mga kapatid, ay kahit nga po yung 6th seal, hindi po ba? Pagpasok sa 7th seal, mga kapatid, pagpasok natin sa 6th trumpet, sa 6th trumpet, nandun po tayo sa 6th. Okay, papasok po tayo dun sa ika-6. Tayo po ay nasa ika-5. But the harvest period will be in the 6th period. So yun po yung Israel. Tapos na po yun pong gawain sa loob ng iglesia. And we will be dealing with that as we continue, as we go on. Okay po? So, I'm just giving you some interesting point, mga kapatid. Had the name been of 7 letters, it would denote close of probation instead of beginning of harvest. Okay? So kung ginawang 7, yung pangalang Israel, magpapakita sana yon na tapos na yung gawain or close na yung probation. But since the loud cry or Israel period or yung tinatawag natin na 144,000 Israel the true ay mangyayari siya at the beginning of the harvest up to the end of the harvest from the 6th period, meaning during probationary time, the harvest period. Sabi dito, the beginning of the harvest, Israel in the time of harvest will receive a new name by the mouth of the Lord. Okay? Whatever that name may be, we are assured it will be perfect to finish the picture of probationary time. So kung ano man yung ipapangalan na sa atin, mga kapatid, pagdating natin sa kingdom, hindi natin alam kung anong pangalan mga kapatid. No? Hindi natin alam kung anong pangalan. So, pagpasok natin doon, mga kapatid, malalaman natin itong picture na ito, kung ilang numero ang ipapasok doon, mga kapatid, to complete the name. Okay? To complete the name. Okay? But this is a really interesting though. This is very interesting. Ilang letter? Ilang letter? Oy! Nagsagot ka agad si Brother Nesty That's very interesting, right? Hindi natin napapansin, mga kapatid, we are entering into that period. We are entering into the 8th section of the church sa last part, mga kapatid. I'm not going to dig with that 7 churches. Okay? Now let us continue. Sabi po dito, si Brother Nesty, oo nga no. Yes. The Lord has given us why Abraham our father, mga kapatid. Why Abraham is our father, why Sarah and Hagar our mothers, mga kapatid. This is very interesting. Okay? Now let us, whatever that name may be, okay? Woe to him who may think all these wonderful designs in the beauty of perfection are just a chance or an accident. Mga kapatid, huwag po nating isipin na aksidente lang po ang pagkakasulat ng pangalan ni Abraham patungo sa Abraham. Ang pangalan ni Sarai papunta sa Sarah at pangalan ni Agar papunta kay Hagar. At bakit Isaac, Jacob, bakit 5 letra ito? At bakit Israel, 6 letters ang pangalan ng Israel by Spirit, mga kapatid. This is all ang kagandahan, mga kapatid, ng gawa ng Panginoon. Such a one is denying the master mechanic of all creation. Kapag binaliwala natin at hindi natin ito pinansin, mga kapatid, ibig sabihin nun ay hindi po natin nakikita yung pong master mechanic or yung ginawa nito ng master mechanic which represents our Creator. He is paying homage to evolution, mga kapatid. Ang instead, ang kanyang itong mga taong hindi naniniwala dito ay evolution ang kanilang sinasaligan, mga kapatid. Okay? Now, okay. Let us go with we have now learned, mga kapatid, that the period of Edenic or Eve period, mga kapatid, has ended when the Exodus movement appeared. Okay? Now let us go with the next chart. I want you to Brother Nesty, I want you to highlight Hagar, and Aaron. Hagar and Aaron. Okay? Hagar and Aaron. Kasi papasok na po tayo doon sa period ni Hagar and Aaron. Okay? So, who represents the woman of Revelation 12? In this period. Okay? Oops. Lobat po yung ating okay. Wait lang po, mga kapatid. Okay ko.
Ha? Kaya ka dyan?
Dalawa po yung aking cellphone. Sorry. Okay. So, sa Hagar period, mga kapatid, the Hagar period, this is probably one of the most common na naintindihan po ng ating pong inang iglesia. Okay? So, this typology. Itong typology po ng Hagar at saka ng Sarah, ito lang po siguro yung mas nauunawaan or malapit-lapit sa pagkakaunawa ng ating mga kapatid. Okay? Sa ating inang iglesia. Now, that passage, because that passage is written in the Bible. Okay? Dito po tayo sa Galatians. Okay? Dito po tayo sa Galatians, mga kapatid. Galatians chapter 4. Okay. Galatians chapter 4. Okay. Okay. Verse 21 to 26. Okay? So ito po yung mga kapatid. So diyan po hinango at ito lang po siguro yung naunawaan ng ating mga kapatid. Okay? Now, anong period yung Hagar Aaron period. So kaninong period? Ito pong Hagar, Aaron period. Okay? So, sabi po dito, for it is written that Abraham had two sons, the one by a bondmaid, the other by a free woman. Yun pong bondwoman dyan, or yung bondmaid represented by Hagar, and the free woman represented by Sarah. So yun po yun, no? Meron siyang dalawang anak sa dalawang magkaibang nanay. But he who was of the bondwoman, yung anak ng bondwoman, was born after the flesh. So remember, siya po ay ipinanganak dahil sa tawag ng laman. Okay? So pinanganak po siya dahil sa laman. So sa sariling kakayanan, sa sariling sa kabisayaan, kaugalingong paningkamot. Okay? So yun po yung self-willed, sa madaling sabi. So naipanganak si Ishmael kay Hagar, that is after the flesh. Hindi po pinangakuan si Hagar na magkakaroon ng anak. Okay? Ang pinangakuan po ay yung pong free woman. But he of the free woman was by promise. Pinangakuan yung free woman, which is Sarah, na magkakaroon sila ng anak, which ang lumabas ay si Isaac. Ngayon, which things are an allegory? Yun pong mga bagay na pangyayaring yun, nakalain po ninyo, allegory pala yun. Okay? Literal na nangyari sa mga Israel, sa buhay ni Abraham, yet it is an allegory. For these are the two covenants. Si Pablo, mga kapatid, naunawaan niya ito. Naunawaan niya itong dalawang bahaging ito. The one from the Mount Sinai, which gendereth to bondage, which is Hagar. Ito pong sa Sinai, sa Mount Sinai, which the representation ng headquarters ng Exodus movement, or noon pong Jewish economy. For this Hagar is a mount, a Sinai in Arabia, and answereth to Jerusalem, which now is and is in bondage with her children. So nakita po natin, ito po ay kumakatawan, verse 25, kumakatawan po siya doon po sa Jewish economy or Jewish church. But Jerusalem, which is above, is free. Pero meron pong anak ang Jerusalem na malaya, which is the mother of us all, which represented by the free woman. Yun po yung representation naman ni Sarah. And we will be heading to Sarah in a short while. Now, Brother Nesty, gusto ko pong bilugan mo itong chart na may wings doon sa Jewish church. Okay? Jewish church. The Jewish church. Yun ang bilugan mo. The Jewish church. So, yung Aaron, mga kapatid, Hagar and Aaron, period, is actually from Exodus to the death of Christ. Okay? So, Hagar and Aaron is from Exodus, first Exodus, up to, tawag po dito, the death of Christ, the crucifixion of Christ. So, pakibilugan mo rin, Brother Nesty, itong dito sa the church and the priesthood, yung may bilog na Hagar and Aaron, pakibilugan mo yung Judaism hanggang yung Ishmael. Tinan mo yung Ishmael dyan sa chart na the church and her priesthood. So, yan po yung magkakapareho. Okay? So, para maintindihan po natin yung chart. Para next time na makita po, ma-encounter po ninyo itong chart, yun pala yung ibig sabihin nito. Okay?
Ano po yung bibilugan, bro, itong Judaism?
Yes, Judaism at saka yung Ishmael. Pero dapat nakabilog din yung Hagar and Aaron para makita natin kung anong period na yung pinag-uusapan natin. There you go. Okay, so nakita po ninyo mga kapatid yung Judaism Okay, so yan po yung representation ni Hagar. Okay, yan po yung born after the flesh. Okay? Born after the flesh. Now let me go to another statement. Mamaya pagka natapos po natin itong study na ito, you will really appreciate Revelation chapter 12 and how wonderful God made mga kapatid. Okay? Okay. Okay. Tonight. Wait lang po I'm looking for Hagar. Okay, there you go. Okay. Wait lang po I'm looking for Hagar. Okay, there you go. Wait lang po Okay. So we have okay. I want you to point 3 sections. Okay? Gusto ko pong bigyan po ninyo, Brother Nesty, pakibilugan mo yung doon sa maraming kulay. Doon sa maraming kulay, pakibilugan mo yung 1, 2, 3. Doon sa simula ng Abrahamic hanggang doon kay Ishmaelic at saka doon sa blue, Ishmael, under Ishmael. Merong number 3 dyan. So kung makikita mo yon, pakibilugan yun dahil yun yung next na babasahin ko.
Sa Abrahamic to,
Nakita mo yung 1, 2, 3 sa bandang baba ni Hagar, sa pangalan ni Hagar, sa bandang baba may number 1. Tapos na may number 2, tapos may number 3. Yan yung 3 sections in the Old Testament. There are 3 sections in the Old Testament. So ito po yung kung nakikita po ninyo mga kapatid, yun pong woman, yung nasa kanang pakpak ng woman that is from Eden hanggang doon po sa cross, yun po yung merong 3 sections. Okay? So yun po yung ibig sabihin ng 3 sections. Nahati po sa dalawa. Ayan. Okay. Brother Nesty, okay, that's good. Pinakita po yung 1, 2, 3. Hindi ko po alam kung nakikita po ninyo yung sa chart natin na 1, 2, 3. Okay? Kung nakikita po ninyo yung 1, 2, 3, pakibilugan mo ngayon, Brother Seth, yung 1, 2, 3 na tawag dito. Yung number lang bro Nesty, 1, 2, 3 hanggang sa blue. So we are halfway. Actually, we are not yet halfway dahil mas marami tayong application pagdating natin sa New Testament period. Mas marami po tayong application pagpasok natin sa New Testament period. There you go. Thank you so much. Ayan, 1, 2, 3. So nahati po sa tatlo yung pong ating pong section. Kanya lang, yung number 1 and 2 ay sakop kay Eden or kay Eve, sorry. Kay Eve period. Yung section 1 and 2 yun po yung period ng before the Bible. Okay? Period ni kasama dyan po sila from Eve hanggang kay Abraham, pagkatapos from Abraham hanggang doon po sa Exodus movement. Okay? So sana po naintindihan po ninyo yung point ko. That is period 1 and period 2. Okay?
Excuse me, bro.
Yes po.
Ano ngayon, bro? Kasi putol-putol yung boses mo. Yung
Okay.
1 and 2, bro.
Okay, so sa Old Testament period ay meron pong 3 sections. 1 and 2, mga kapatid, kung nakita po niyo po yung nasa dilaw na Numbers 1 and 2, yan po yung period from Eden hanggang kay Abraham at Abraham to what you call this one? Hanggang dito sa Exodus. Okay? Let me bigyan ko kayo ng section 1. Okay, Old Testament in three sections. Okay? So section number 1, section 1 ay from Eve to Abraham. And then section number 2, section 2 from Abraham to Exodus movement. Exodus movement. And section number 3, okay, number 3 from Exodus to death of Christ, to the cross. Okay. So, wait lang po. Meron na po akong nilagyan. Sorry. Tama po yan, pero meron po akong idadagdag sana. Bigla ko pong nasend. I'm really sorry. Wait lang po. Okay. Sure. I want to make sure that you understand what I am talking, bro. Eve, Melchizedek, period. Pasensyahan nyo na po kung mali po yung akin pong spelling. Gusto ko lang pong makita po ninyo. Period. Okay? Tapos, Hagar, Ishmael, period. Okay. So, yan. Para mas madali po maintindihan, yun po akin pong mga pinagsasabi. Okay? So, nahati po sa tatlo yun pong nahati po sa tatlo yun pong tinatawag na Old Testament. Okay? Nahati po siya sa tatlong period. Yun pong Eve, Melchizedek period, dalawa po yung section na inabot niya. That is from Eve to Abraham, yun yung section number 1. From Abraham to Exodus movement, section number 2. Old Testament po lahat itong sinasabi ko po Tapos yung kay Hagar Ishmael naman, mga kapatid, that is section number 3, from Exodus to the cross. That is 3 section in all sa Old Testament times. Okay po? So, I hope this one is clear to us, mga kapatid. Okay? So, yan po ay nasa, hindi ko na po babasahin as it will take too much. That is page 1SR 226 to 228. Okay, so I don't want to ayoko nang basahin yung lahat ng yan. Para lang po makita natin yung pong nasa chart. Okay? Para maintindihan lang po natin yung pong atin pong chart. Okay? Now, nakita na po natin that Hagar at saka yun pong si Ishmael ay kumakatawan sa Jewish church. Okay? So, sa madaling sabi, mga kapatid, hindi na natin kailangang isalin-salin yung babae, yung church. So, the church is, the woman of Revelation 12, in this period, in this section, from Exodus to the cross, mga kapatid, is represented by the Jewish church. But not the ordinary Jewish church, but the faithful Jews, mga kapatid. Again, the woman of Revelation chapter 12. Pag pinag-uusapan natin si Hagar, Ishmael, or the period from Exodus to the cross, is represented by the faithful ones of the Jewish economy. Okay? Yun po yung kumakatawan doon po sa babae. Okay. Now, just to post this passage. Okay. So sabi po rito, while the Passover lamb gave way to Hagar, symbol of the church under the Jewish economy. So yan po yung symbol ng iglesia ng church economy, that is Hagar. It also celebrated the commencement of the ceremonial system. Thus, section number 3 became the mother of the ceremonial types. So yun pong sa types, mga kapatid, dyan po natin nakita yun pong Passover lamb. Kung hindi ko po alam, kung alam niyo, familiar kayo sa Passover, dyan din po yung temple, dyan po yung period na yan, dyan po yung period ng candlesticks. So lahat po ng type patungkol sa seremonya ay nandyan po lahat sa Hagar period or Hagar church, mga kapatid, or Hagar Ishmaeli period. Okay? So nandyan po yung mga types. Kaya po dito po sa chart number pakibilugan, Brother Ernesty, yung chart, makikita mo yung chart na maraming kulay, yung types. Tingnan mo yung types. Chart na maraming kulay na may nakalagay na types. Pakibilugan yon. So dyan po natin hinahango yung mga ating mga application ngayon. Bakit merong Ezekiel 9, bakit merong pagpasok ni Jesus Christ ng 1844 sa sanctuaryo. So lahat po yan, bakit si Jesus Christ ay si high priest, dahil po yan, maliban dyan bro, yung yellow pa. Pakibilugan mo rin yung yellow. Tingnan mo yung yellow, under Melchizedek, may types dyan. So dalawa yan. So dyan po natin hinango yun pong ating pong typology. Okay? Okay, so that is an interesting thought, mga kapatid. And 7:47, 8:47 your time. Okay. I don't know if I should stop here. And we will be dealing with the antitype in the Sarah and Christ period. So let me end here, mga kapatid. I want to end here. Okay. So yan po yung period, mga kapatid. So again, the woman of Revelation chapter 12 is represented by the faithful ones na makikita po ninyo dito sa atin pong chart. So nandyan po si Abel, sa mga charts natin, si Abel, si Eve, si Abel, si Seth, so sila Methuselah, sila po yung kumakatawan sa woman ng Revelation chapter 12. Sila po yung faithful ones. Yun po yung sa section number 1. Sa section number 2 naman, sa panahon ni Abraham, they represent Abraham, Sarah, Jacob, Isaac. So yun po mga faithful ones, dan sa period na yan, sila po yung kumakatawan doon po sa, that is section number 2, doon po sa woman. Okay? Ng Revelation chapter 12. Now, dito naman po sa period ng Hagar, which is section number 3 of the Old Testament, Hagar and Ishmael period, the Israel after the flesh, mga kapatid, yan pong period na yan, ang faithful ones dyan, katulad nila Daniel, kung maalala nyo, si Moses, si Joshua, at yung mga kasama nila, pagkatapos kay Joshua, yung mga judges, pagkatapos ng mga judges, mga prophets, pagkatapos ng mga prophets, kasama na doon sa mga prophets, sila Daniel, kung sino pang naisip yung mga propeta, mga kapatid, yung mga kings na faithful, sila po yung kumakatawan doon po sa woman ng Revelation 12. Okay? So, it's kind of interesting mga kapatid, pero hinati lang po sa tatlong bahagi ang history ng ating church. That is the period of Eve, Hagar, and Sarah. But sa period ni Sarah, sa ating pag-aaral sa susunod na linggo, sa coming weeks, mga kapatid, it will be more interesting and it's harder na atin pong mauunawaan. But if we ask the Spirit of the Lord to be with us, mga kapatid, we will be understanding each of the representation na atin pong makikita in the coming tawag ko ito, a study na atin pong gagawin. Okay? So, I just hope and pray na you find it interesting yung pong study tonight. And we now understand who represents the woman of Revelation 12 in the time of the Old Testament in three section. Okay? So, okay? So, kung naintindihan po natin ito at kung meron po kayong gustong i-clarify, we will be doing that after our prayer. As I do not want to go to 8 o'clock, ayoko rin magsimula ng panibagong section kung hindi ko naman maibibigay sa atin o hindi ko naman po mailalatag sa atin ang completion or yung kabuuan nito. Okay? So let us close first and then we will go with our with our open forum. Okay? Para sa inyong clarifications. Let us close mga kapatid. Would like to ask Brother James to lead us in prayer. Brother James?
Mana mo nga nasa langit, Diyos na makapangyarihan sa lahat. Sana'y maintindihan namin ang mga bagay, ang mga salita na ngayong inilatag ng ating kapatid na naway maintindihan namin ang lahat ng mga pag-aaral na ito. Dinalangin namin sa banal na Espiritu na kami turuan at maunawaan lahat ng mga pag-aaral na nakita o narinig namin ngayon tungkol sa babae sa Revelation 12 na nag-represent sa ulahing mga panahon at sana'y amin pang matuklasan ang iba pang mga pag-aaral na may dagdag namin sa aming kaisipan para ay kami makapagpaliwanag din sa iba nating mga kapatid na hindi pa nakarinig ng mga mensahe nito. Maraming salamat, Panginoon, o patawarin mo kami sa aming mga pagkakasala. Lahat ng ito ay dinadalangin namin sa aming mahal na Panginoong Hesus Kristo. Amen.
Amen. Okay. So, oops.
Amen.
Okay. Kung meron po kayong clarifications, maraming salamat, Brother James. Kung meron po kayong clarifications, please, you may share it now. Kung
Bro,
meron po kayong reflections.
meron po, kasi sa ibang mga sikta, sinasabi nila yung babae sa Revelation 12 is si Mama Mary daw yun. Kasi di ba nagbuntis siya at sinilang. So nakita natin na yung sinilang niya ay si Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Ano yun sa totoo ba yun, bro? Na pwedeng si Mama Mary ang nag-represent sa
Revelation 12?
12?
No. No. Can't be. Hindi po pwedeng si tawag po dito, si Mary yun. Let us remember, kapag ang konteksto ng kay Mary, ang konteksto ng Revelation 12, ang ating pong pinagpag-uusapan, ay that is church and the dragon. So, kailan kinalaban ni Mary ang dragon? That's an easy question. Kailan kinalaban ni Mary ang dragon? Was there a time na si Mary ay kinalaban ang tawag dito, ang dragon?
No.
Mhm.
Kasi
Wala
bro,
po, di ba? So, yun muna niya patunayan.
Wala bro, pero ang kasi yung point lang nila is sinong panganak
Buti.
kang Jesus Christ. Oh.
Mhm.
So medyo diyan lang sila nagkuha ng theory nila sa
Yes.
pagpanganak. So wala
So,
namang iba siguro nagpasilang kang Jesus Christ, di ba? Nagbuntis yung babae sa Revelation 12.
Mhm. Yes, bro. But still, if you will make a discussion with these brethren, kung siya rin makikipag-discuss sa'yo, automatic, talo sila. Wala po silang tatakbuhan kapag tinanong mo na, kung yan ay si Mary, kailan nakipaglaban si Mary sa dragon? Kailan hinabol si Mary ng dragon? Don't make it literal. Kasi kung gagawin natin literal din yung dragon. Kailan hinabol ng dragon si Maria? Kailan nagkaroon ng pakpak si Maria? That's simple. Honestly, kung meron po makikipag-discuss sa atin, wala po siyang tatakbuhan. So, kailan nagkaroon ng pakpak si Maria? Simple question. Kailan nagkaroon so brother James, that is a useless discussion with our brethren outside dahil sa they are trying all they can to understand these things. Pero meron po akong passage na pwede nilang i-apply kay Mary. Yun po yung nandun sa Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 9. Okay? So kung doon mo yung gagamitin po nilang sa Isaiah chapter 9, yan po pwede. Okay? Sorry, Isaiah chapter 9. No. Isaiah chapter 7. Isaiah chapter 7. Yeah, Isaiah chapter 7. So kung yun ang gagamitin natin, pwede siguro. Pero kung yung gagamitin po natin ay ito pong Revelation, it won't be. So pag nagbigay ako ng study, I do not apply it. I do not apply Revelation 12 kay Mary. I apply it to the church. Pero pagka Isaiah chapter 7 ang pinag-uusapan natin, si Emmanuel, the birth of Emmanuel, pwede kong gawing dual application yung babae na nagbuntis. One, Mary, and the second to the church. So yun po yung application ko. Pero pag ginamit natin Revelation, no. That is a total mess.
Okay,
Ano kasi yung context na
Yes, bro. That's total mess. Kapag yun po ang gagamitin po natin. Okay. So, any other thoughts, mga kapatid? Any other thoughts? Meron pa po bang gustong i-clarify? I am making something now para dun lang sa focus lang tayo dun sa pinag-aralan natin tonight. Inahati ko yung sorry.
Ano nga pa wala yung
bro.
Yes, bro.
Meron pa
Wait lang ba there, Leslie?
Ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng nasa may moon sa ibaba ng kanyang paa?
Okay. Brother, meron po akong tanong sa'yo. I want to make this one clear. Napakinggan mo na ba ang study ng Revelation chapter 12? Yung whole study ng Revelation chapter 12. Focusing on Revelation 12.
Nakapagkinggan ko, pero
Okay.
siguro may na-miss akong one.
Okay.
Kaya lang recall ko lang.
Okay. Yung pong period, yung babae, sorry, yung moon under ng babae ay period yon. Wala Sister Marie. Wala Sister Marie. Ang period ng moon under the woman's feet at yung stars is the period without the Bible. And actually you can see it from the chart. Okay? So let me just send this photo, hating photos mga kapatid, dahil yan po yung comparison. O dyan po natin pagka tinignan po natin yung chart natin, mga kapatid, titingnan nyo po yan, na yan lang po yung pinag-usapan natin ngayong gabi. Okay? So, kalahati lang. Mga kapatid. Okay? So,
Salamat, bro.
yes bro, that's the period without the Bible. Brother, okay, copy, paste. Brother, okay, ang topic po na to, sister, actually, hindi ko alam, wala po akong kuhan dito sa study na ito. Ang nilagay ko lang kanina ay Revelation 12 woman. Sorry, the representation of Revelation 12 woman in its succession. Sorry, in her succession. So, yun na lang po ilagay mo. Part 1. Lagay niyo po part 1 ha. Kasi we will be dealing with part 2 in this coming week. Okay, i-type ko the representation of the woman of Revelation 12 woman in her succession. Part 1. Okay. Part 1. Okay, so pwedeng ganito na lang sister para hindi Okay, there you go. You're welcome sister. Para madaling mahanap. Okay, so I know why. Bakit po siya nagtanong? Dahil i-upload po yun ng ating kapatid, no? Para pwede niyo pong pakinggan ulit. Okay, so I just hope and pray mga kapatid na